Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be interviewing a very special guest. I'm so fucking excited. I've been trying to get her for quite a while now, and she's finally coming on today. Melody Anderson. You may remember her. She was Dale Arden in the 1980 version of Flash Gordon. Yes, Dale Arden herself, Melody Anderson. She was also in Dead and Buried, which was Robert Englund's first horror movie. She was in Firewalker with Chuck Norris and Louis Gossett Jr., and Speed Zone, and many others. I mean, she's got a great resume. And now she's a psychiatrist who helps people with addiction. And I'm going to find out what made her want to go into that and everything else. It's going to be a pretty interesting episode, I can just sense. And I've been waiting for a long time. I'm just so lucky. Yesterday I celebrated 4 years of sobriety since my car accident, and I feel very accomplished by that. So yeah, here is my interview with Melody Anderson. Hi, Melody.
Hey, Tommy, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Very well. So we finally connect, huh?
Yes, finally. I'm so excited about this. It's such an honor because, to me, you're the most beautiful woman that Canada has ever produced.
Oh, did you? So you got my $10. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Nice one.
No, I sincerely mean that, and it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for taking the time today.
You know, where do you live?
Right now, I'm in Redding, California.
Oh, okay, great. So how long have you been doing your blog?
I've been doing my podcast it'll be 2 years in May.
Wow, good for you. Good for you. I keep wanting to do that, but you know what? Like, it's just too much to do. So there we go.
All you gotta do is
tell me what you want to do and how you want to do this. And I've got a half an hour, so tell me what I can do for you.
Oh yeah, I just want to talk about your movie highlights, movie and TV highlights, and then about what you do now and stuff like that.
Great. So if you have me on now, do you want to get the thing rolling?
Oh yeah, I'm recording.
All right, terrific. So.
And I edit, so.
You just ask away and you tell me what you want.
Okay, awesome. So, going back to the beginning, did you know early on you wanted to be an actress?
Actually, I had a couple of careers before I became an actress. I always knew I wanted to go to college, and I loved writing, so I trained to be a journalist, specifically the radio journalist, because in the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, they had very, very strong radio, and I grew up on radio. So I went to Carleton University in Ottawa, and while I was going through school, I supported myself through doing radio magazine bits on whatever I decided to do, and also modeling. So acting was sort of not my initial direction.
Well, when did you get bitten by the acting bug?
Well, it was interesting because after the Vietnam War in '75, I took a trip to Southeast Asia and worked in Australia, New Zealand, in radio, and then got up to Southeast Asia and Hong Kong, and when I was looking in Australia, they have that Rupert Murdoch feel of journalism, and it was pretty sensational and pretty tacky, and I just decided, well, no, I don't think this is exactly what I want to do with my life. So while I was in Hong Kong, staying at a very dumpy little place, because I was a student then, and it was called the Chungking Mansions at the bottom of Kowloon, and I heard Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf with Uta Hagen, and I was so moved by it that I said, that's how I'm going to, because I always want to assess people and move them and educate them. And I shouldn't have been a lifelong educator in all sorts of ways. I ended up even teaching here at UCLA and also at universities in New York to the medical doctors there. And I just I just heard this thing, and I thought, I think this is how you do it. I think you become an actor, and you do very moving roles to affect people and have them contemplate on their own lives and all that sort of thing. So I came to Los Angeles after a year off, and ended up taking classes and supporting myself with some modeling, and I was very lucky. I started to work almost immediately in commercials, which got me my SAG card, and started to say we're doing a lot of acting classes, and got an agent, and started commercials, and then in fact, the very first job I got me my Screen Actors Guild was a commercial with Ed McMahon, who's long passed.
Yep.
From the Tonight Show, and I was dressed up with two other girls, like little winter elves, little red velvet and white fur outfits, and would introduce and go, here's Ned. So that's how I got my SAG card. And I just worked very, very hard, I was going to acting class 3 days a week and auditions as much as I could, and ended up getting a couple of movies for television. First one was sort of a Fantasy Island kind of pilot, and then another movie of the week, and then I got Flash Gordon. And the reason I got Flash Gordon, I auditioned for it and everything, and I came close, but I didn't get the cigar at that time, so I ended up planning on doing, going back to LA and working in TV. And I got this last-minute phone call, actually directly from Dino De Laurentiis, God bless his soul. Mm-hmm. I was in New York doing some work, and he wanted me to fly that afternoon, come to London, because they had decided to change the woman they had initially picked for the role. So I zapped over with not very much, because I went to New York for a week, and I got my hair dyed black, and the shades in front of it, and costume changes, and screen test, and I was working the next day. So it was pretty crazy, I must say.
Yeah, I mean, was anybody aware that you had been on episodes of Logan's Run and Battlestar Galactica?
Well, certainly when I went in to meet with them, they had told the casting person that.
Mm-hmm.
And but trust me, like at that level of a digital movie, they weren't really interested in that. They were looking for a very specific type, and even though let's say they had to dye my hair black and shave Max von Sydow's head and dye Sam Jones's hair from dark brown to blonde and cover up the face of Clytus, who was a wonderful actor. Mm-hmm. It worked. They liked the look, and that's what they were looking for, because it was a comic book character, and so they wanted something so sort of cute and charming.
Yeah.
And I think they were very, very happy with that. So that was it. And then I went back to the contract. I said, listen, I've just been here for a week. I have to do my taxes and get organized. I came home for Christmas, got my stuff together, went back for another month. And then it happened and came out, and, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, were you nervous at all because you were getting, second billing, and, you'd only been acting a few years by that point?
Oh, God, no. I loved this role because it was such a wonderful, campy role. Mm-hmm. So I had really wanted, I kind of moved on because I didn't think I was going to get it. But I was thrilled, and we had such a wonderful crew of actors, and the director was Mike Hodges. It was so wonderful. I really wasn't that nervous. I think Dino wanted me to lose a little weight, but I said, hey, I got a round face. You don't have to cut off half of my face if you want that to happen. So that's what happened. But it was an amazing, intense experience. We worked 6 days a week. I had no family, no friends, nothing there. Sam had his girlfriend with him at the time. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of alone. And it was long and exhausting, and a lot of physical stuff, because it was flying scenes. We were in one of the hangars that they had built the supersonic jets in. So we were hanging from the sky like 120 feet up inside the warehouse. And they all break for tea or something. We left, Sopel and I, we left standing in there. So, It was very rigorous. It was very rigorous, and then you kind of who knows when you're an actor in something. There's so many pieces that are involved that can make or break the movie, and so you just go on to the next job. That's all you're thinking about because it doesn't come out for another year.
Yeah, were you shocked it didn't do huge box office?
Well, that's actually not true. It did extremely well in Europe. They had figures of us on the Champs-Élysées, and we were very, very big in Asia. But in America, there was this problem with Universal Studios and Dino, and they just didn't promote it. And then there was the issues with Sham and all this kind of stuff. So Universal really didn't promote it like they should have in America, but we did very, very well overseas. And of course, it still plays every single year, either for Thanksgiving or during the Christmas season, because it's sort of like become our generation's the Wizard of Oz. And because it's so fantasy, and the visuals and the colors are so brilliant. I mean, it's long before CGI, and we just work from a blue screen. So, and the way it works, because it is a 1930s kind of comic book look, so you don't want to be too slick. But it survived time. We were on the British Film Academy's top 100 films of the 20th century, or whatever the year 1900 was. Yeah, we're in the 21st century. That's great. And so we had, and I still get fan letters. It's just such a treat. It really is. And I'm in the midst of, I still go and do signings once in a while. I'm doing one in Denver at the end of May. So, I'm still out there connecting, and people, it's really bad when somebody comes up and says, my grandfather showed this to me and showed me about this movie, and I'm going, the guy's 22. Shut up.
I'm 35 now. I was 13 when I discovered this movie because I used to watch the matinee serial when I was a kid, and I thought the best thing, I thought the movie was all right, but the best part about the movie was the Queen soundtrack. I loved the Queen soundtrack.
I think that helped it an awful lot. Absolutely. But it's as I say, you can go back to it and see something new every time. And the problem was the vision of the director and Dino. Dino wanted this to be some kind of big hero movie, and Mike Hodges thought it was the campiness that it really deserved. And so, going back to it, I realized how the double entendres and how clever it was, and it holds itself over these decades.
It sure does. And then you went into low-budget horror with Dead and Buried.
Well, it wasn't a low-budget horror film.
Oh, it wasn't?
It was a horror film with some great actors in it, and in the meanwhile, while that was happening, I was doing movies for television as well.
Yeah, it was actually Robert Englund's first horror movie too. I met him at a Comic-Con last year. And what was Jack Albertson like?
He was a dear. I mean, James Tarantino, everybody was lovely at it, and Gary Sherman is a wonderful director, and it's getting a revival itself in screenings around the country. And it's also become kind of a cult horror classic as well. So we shot it up near Monterey, and it was beautiful, and had a great time. And agents back then felt like doing a horror movie was a good thing to do for your career and all that kind of stuff. So I had a great time. I'm glad I did it.
It was a good production then.
Absolutely.
And then let's see, you did the Chuck Norris movie Firewalker.
Yeah, with Lou Gossett. It was so much fun. Oh my God, I was so lucky to work with both of those guys. And I had a lot of really nice roles that I liked a lot. And those guys, I was so lucky. I got to work out with Chuck Norris at the end of the day, which, trust me, I'm a little clumsy, so, he's quite amazing. So when I
Yeah, I've interviewed a lot of people who have worked with J. Lee Thompson, and they told me, they told me that he was like an actor's director, and he was a great guy.
Yeah, absolutely right, and a very sweet man. He was great. He had a great. I'm laughing because he has such a great sense of humor.
Mm-hmm. And God, there's a lot of great actors in it. Will Sampson, who played the chief in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Absolutely.
Sonny Landham, who we just lost recently.
I know. He and I just got along great. So.
Mm-hmm. And John Rhys Davies, who's in the Indiana Jones movies, which is this is kind of like an Indiana Jones movie with a little bit of Hope and Crosby.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just a wonderful cast, and I got to really work on my Spanish and live in Mexico for about 3 months. And both the boys got sick, but I was eating off the stands right on the street because I knew I needed to get that bacteria. And I never got sick, and both of them did. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. How was Louis Gossett Jr.?
I've been lucky enough to run into him. He's written a book and watch people around town at events, and it's just lovely. He's an amazing man, and what he's thought through and worked through and created in his own life is quite something. So I have a very, very fond. In fact, we spoke about it a month ago. So I have a very fond spot to him in my heart.
Is he doing good health wise?
Yeah, he is. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I remember in the news a few years ago he wasn't doing so good, but I'm glad he's doing good.
Yeah. And so, unfortunately, a lot of, age is not great.
No, it's not.
They say getting old ain't for sissies, that's for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. Now, one of my favorite movies when I was a kid I used to watch over and over again is Speed Zone.
Oh, sure. Oh, that was a riot. No, I got to tell you, can you imagine sitting with John Candy and those FCTV people? I mean, I would go to lunch and I'd have a sore stomach from laughing so hard every single day.
Oh.
We had a ball and a half. And Sherry Belafonte was my partner in crime in that movie. She was a doll. So it was just, I had so much fun doing it. And I got to go back to Canada and spend time up there, so to see my family, so it was great.
Yeah, you and her worked so great together, and I love that you two have that fuzz buster. And Harvey Atkin, he's like out of the bathtub in a towel, and you make some wisecrack about his tiny dick.
Well, we had a lot of laughs together. Yeah, in fact, she and I still once in a while run into each other and thank God for that Facebook. Speak on Facebook every once in a while and connect up. So, yeah, she's doing well. She's doing a lot of documentaries and a lot of films. It's still never still.
Yeah, I reached out to her. I haven't heard back from her, but hopefully, maybe.
Maybe, absolutely.
I love when Alyssa Milano, that driving instructor, tries to run you two off the road, and you're like giving him the Italian fungool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm half Italian, so that's hilarious to me.
I live in New York, so I got it too. So there you go.
Yeah. I interviewed Art Hindle, and he told me the most fun he had during the movie was when you guys did the bumper car sequence during the end credits.
Let me tell you, we had so much. The whole movie was just a delight. When you think about One Day We'll All Be Dead, so glad I did that movie. I didn't really care what happened with it because I had such a ball. I had such a good life experience with everybody. We were always laughing and happy all the time. It was wonderful. Yeah,
the first Cannonball Run movie was actually the first movie I ever saw, and I still know every line of it.
Terrific. Wonderful.
Yeah, and I'm a big SCTV fan, so that's why the movie holds a place in my heart.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they shot that in the town I'm from, which is Edmonton.
Mm-hmm. So. Do you remember you did an episode of this horror anthology show that I used to love when I was a kid? We know it in the U.S. as The Hitchhiker, It was called Deadly Nightmares in Canada.
Yeah, yeah. It was a good show, and I was with an actor who went on to do a lot of stuff. It was a real, I had a great time.
Mm-hmm. That was when that was when HBO sold the show to the USA Network, and it kind of became, cleaned up and everything. And they couldn't hire big names anymore. They had to hire a lot of French Canadian actors to be on the show.
That was in our case. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite sure where that information comes from, but that was not our case.
Mm-hmm. Well, there were a lot
of. I was a Canadian, so that's why one of the things that helped me get it.
Mm-hmm.
Even shot it in Vancouver. I can't remember, but I think it was Vancouver.
It was Vancouver, yeah. And you had a recurring role on Jake and the Fat Man.
Yes, I did, and I love that. I mean, Kenny was so special, and I loved the character, and working with the old man was wonderful. God bless his soul, he died of diabetes. There he is with the friggin' donut tray, having a grand time, and I said, you go, boy, you go. He was a very real Renaissance man. He wrote music and produced things and directed. He was an amazing man.
Yeah, he was. I thought he was very underrated. He didn't get the respect that he deserved.
No, I think so. I agree with you. Yeah.
Then again, it's a tough business.
Oh, is it ever? And it makes no sense. And you can't figure out why some people make it and some people don't. And then when some people make it, they destroy that stuff. And it's a lot of different human beings getting involved in it.
Yeah. So, what made you want to give up acting and going into psychiatry? Is it?
Well, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm a psychotherapist.
Oh, okay, psychotherapist.
Yeah. And I had majored in journalism and minored in psychology because I'm fascinated with what makes people tick. So I ended up, you see the writing on the wall, and I really just didn't, as I got older, want to kind of hustle for a job, considering I had a pretty good resume. So I thought, what else will I do? And one thing I love to do is tell people what to do and get paid for it. So this was my dream job. And so I went back to university. I went to NYU, and then I ended up studying, and then I created some programs at Hazelton in New York. And then did all private practice, and then came out to Los Angeles about 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And have you found great satisfaction from the job?
Oh, exactly. People often come to me and say, oh, what's the meaning to life? I said the meaning to life is that we do things to make people feel peace and safety, and be able to do that as a life career is just
Well, you're going to love this. As of yesterday, I'm celebrating 4 years of sobriety.
Oh, congratulations. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
What are you doing to do that?
Well, on January 21st, 2015, I had a car accident.
Oh.
And I spent 30 days in a coma.
Oh, Jesus. Would you hit a tree or something?
No. Me and a guy, we were out, and we were out drinking. I fell asleep in the passenger seat, and he fell asleep at the wheel. We ended up in the middle of the road, and we got out of the car, and then we got hit. And I got the worst of the injuries.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So I spent 30 days in a coma. I woke up on my mom's birthday. I've never forgotten my mom's birthday ever.
That's funny. All the days to wake up, huh?
Yeah.
Story, yeah.
Yeah. And, I realized that, life was short and stuff. And my doctor told me that my liver was damaged, that I couldn't drink anymore. And if I did, my liver would bleed. So I just have had willpower the whole time. And I started going to conventions and meeting my heroes, and I started this podcast and decided this is my path. This is my destiny.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
And the thing is, you can develop into so many things. You can do like a blog or write a little something or do a little mini book or,
yeah.
no, I mean, there's so many wonderful things that can come with, do journalism, and it's endless. Absolutely endless.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I was already doing stand-up comedy for years before that, and doing a little bit of stage acting and stuff. Now I'm trying to get into movies. I did a movie a year and a half ago, and I just auditioned for something that I hope I get.
Oh, well, good luck to you on that. Good luck to you on that.
Oh, thank
So,
you.
yeah, I was like, you're moving, it's the courageous are the ones who fight all the halls and just keep going and try to create a decent life for themselves and others. So you're very courageous.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's it's just been extraordinary that in such a short amount of time that all this has happened to me.
Yeah,
'Cause-
isn't it funny? And you could have chosen another path too, right? Of self-destruction. And you didn't. So there you go. That's wonderful.
Well, I kind of was self-destructive before the accident. I mean, I drank every day for a few years, and
Yeah.
I behaved badly and all that stuff, and I'm just, doing my best to make up for it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying you're going to be doing a Comic-Con in Denver?
Yes, I think it's over the Memorial Day weekend. So people can check on with that. And I may be doing one before that in New Jersey. So that would be the weekend before. So it's I'm going to be doing that so far, and then of course coming back and doing my work here.
Mm-hmm. I hope I get to meet you at a convention this year.
Well, certainly check. I don't know if you can come to Denver, but where do you live again?
In Redding, California.
Reading, yeah. But sometimes I will do, like every few years, I'll do the Hollywood show.
Oh yeah. I've been wanting to do the Hollywood show. Oh my God, the lineup that they have coming up. Oh my God, that's like a $5,000 weekend if I could afford that. So many great people I want their autographs and their pictures with. It's amazing.
Don't you forget about the lottery. I'm still holding on to that as well. So yeah, you can never tell, right?
Oh yeah, me and my mother, we buy lottery tickets every weekend. I wanted to ask you. I was looking for research and stuff, and you you were on this one podcast about 5 years ago, Rick's Martini Bar.
I don't remember.
Yeah, the guy who hosted, his name's Jerry McCarty. He died about a month ago.
Oh no! Thanks for letting me know. That's so sad.
Yeah, and I had interviewed him a month before, and his voice was very scratchy. He had cancer, and I wasn't aware of it, and he didn't tell me. And I was wondering, like, why his voice was so scratchy compared to the way it was before. And then when he passed away, I got the answer to that question, and I reposted the interview a bunch of times because he was my first guest that died, and I was just mind boggled by it. But yeah, it was him and Kelly Maroney, who's a good friend of mine, co-hosting with him and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's, as you said, life is very precious, and making the most of what we have. Now, I do have to go. I have a client coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there anything else you want to discuss before I move on here?
Oh no, you've been great, Melody. I'd love to have you back on again sometime to talk more. But this was good for now, and I appreciate it so much.
My pleasure, and I wish you all the good luck too for what you've done in your life.
Oh, thank you so much, Melody. God bless you, and have a great day.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Melody Anderson. Ain't she a sweetheart? Thank you so much, Melody. You're a very inspiring and inspirational person, as you said I was as well. And I'm glad we got to talk for a little bit. And I hope you keep on going because you are just truly the most awesome person. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, add me as a friend on Facebook, join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes!